Welcome to the Resilient AF podcast. I'm Alex Fresh.
I'm Emelia Jackson.
And I'm Bennett Knows. We believe everything vibrates at a certain frequency, and we're here to raise the vibration.
You'll hear stories of incredible resilience, manifestation, and what to do when you find that even resilience has a toll.
'Cause a bitch is tired, honey.
Cheers. Good morning. Welcome to the podcast. They're taking a shot. I never partake. Why do you guys do that to yourselves? Get a proper chaser.
Well,
I always forget. I literally always forget to bring a chaser.
I just need like a mini fridge
Oh, God.
with some mini chasers.
We got to get back to
With some
doing
mini
the
ice.
drink of the day because these straight shots
Are
are like,
not. It's giving
not it.
ghetto.
If I can just get like a bar in here, I'll be your bartender.
Oh, my God. This is like, that was not good for the
Sick.
morning.
it's going to make you feel great.
Yeah, my stomach's warm right
Feel
now.
better.
So, yeah, it's that time of the morning. It's early. It's
Good
Monday.
morning.
And want to.
donuts.
I feel like, I brought you guys donuts.
Thank you.
And Emelia wants a maple one.
Yes, please. Are you gonna tell how late I was? Are we gonna talk about that?
Are we gonna address that?
Dress the elephant in the room. That I was so fucking
I forgot
late.
about it already.
No, but tell how I came to get you.
So,
Well, first of all, Bennett's car isn't working still, so Emelia
Yeah.
had to go pick him up.
First, let's start with this. I was listening to Soft White Underbelly when I was falling asleep last night. If you haven't listened to it on YouTube, it's great. You should definitely watch it. So it killed my battery, okay? So I had an alarm set, everything, whatever. I wake up this morning, I roll over, and I look at my girlfriend, and I go, what? And I'm like, oh my God. I jump out of bed, didn't even take my bonnet off. I still have my bonnet on as of right now. Thank God I had lashes on. I brushed my teeth like half-ass, like very quickly, forgot deodorant. I jump in the fucking car, okay? I'm driving at 80 miles per hour, praying to God that none of the police are seeing me do this, okay? I'm driving like a bat out of hell to Bennett. And then finally, I'm like 4 minutes away. I call Bennett. I'm like, fucking tuck and roll. I don't know if you can tuck and roll into a car, but I need you to fucking do it, Bennett.
she's like, literally, I'm 3 minutes away. Make sure you're outside and jump in the car.
Is it
And
that serious?
And literally, this girl, listen, there's 3 speed bumps going into my parking lot so people don't speed in. And you would have, like, there was no speed bumps this morning. This
Holy
girl,
shit.
like,
Dude, if anybody was out there, they would have been so mad at
they
you.
were like,
Oh, yeah.
what the hell?
No,
And
literally.
like this U-turns and we're gone. Gone.
I was like, get in, loser. We're going shopping.
Yo, I was gonna post. That is so weird you say that. I wore this sweatshirt. It's a BMW car. It's like my car.
Yeah.
That has a Christmas tree on it. And I'm going to post it later and say, hop on, loser, we're going home.
Hell yeah, that's so cute.
what? You just said that. What the
I know. I feel like it's always necessary to say that. Like,
But we never say that.
no, we
It's like a
never
thing.
say it, but it's like when the moment is there, you have to say
I
it.
love a good
Yeah.
Mean Girls reference.
Love Mean Girls.
That's my favorite movie ever.
It's
Yeah.
favorite.
It's a good movie.
You know what? Our next episode, we should dress up like the Mean Girls, like that cute little slutty Christmas outfit.
You and Bennett?
Oh my
Yes.
gosh.
And then we
yeah.
should do the dance because I know the dance.
I know the dance too.
I don't.
We'll have to teach
It's easy.
you.
Okay.
Yeah. We'll do that.
Yeah, Jingle Bell Rock.
Yes. Yeah.
Ooh,
Yep.
I'm so excited. Yeah.
Well, tell me what I need to dress up in. So
I'll send the
What
links.
do I
yeah.
wear? I don't
You're
have
gonna
a
wear-
Christmas.
No, I'm gonna send you the links, and
Okay.
that's what we're gonna wear.
Okay, I've never
Yeah.
worn a dress or
okay,
a skirt.
well,
Actually, I
there's a
have
first
one.
for everything.
Have you?
Yeah, I'd like
I love that for
role
you.
playing skits.
Yeah.
and stuff. Yeah.
I love that.
Fun.
That's fun.
Oh, hey.
Yeah.
I'm just want to address the fact that I feel like we haven't been here for ages because last week we didn't do the podcast because Mr. Bennett got COVID.
Gosh,
He was
I
licking
did.
toilet seats in the airplane, sidewalks,
Licking
all of
That's
something.
how I do. No. Oh my gosh.
Get down and
So, but,
dirty.
you know, we're back and we're better than ever, and none of us are sick. I don't think.
no, just sick in the
And
head, but
We're,
yeah.
we're glad to be back, and we're gonna do our peaks and our pits now. And Bennett, you want to kick us off?
Yeah, so obviously my pit was COVID, but like the way that everything happened was insane. COVID was just the cherry on top
Okay.
of all of
Yeah.
the bullshit.
Yeah, you went through some shit.
All in like 2.5 days.
Yeah.
So basically, my ex moved out with the dogs. So,
How long ago?
That was like what?
Oh, took the dogs.
2 weeks
Didn't
ago.
know that.
No, took
Yeah.
the doggies.
Okay.
I mean,
Less
they're
responsibility
his, they're
for
his,
you,
they're his
though.
doggies. You feel me?
Yep. No, totally
But,
fine.
You feel me? He took the doggies, and then I started my job at Amazon, and then on my way home from Amazon, my car broke down and didn't start. I was literally a block away from my house.
Ugh. Did you have
Right.
to push it?
I had to push it. I literally had to, because I was filling it up with gas.
Oh, hell
and
no.
then I went to start it and it wouldn't start.
Oh,
So I'm
hell
like,
no.
what?
Full
That's
tank of
fucked
gas.
up. You're like, wait,
That's
can I get
fucked.
the money back for
Right.
the
That's
gas,
completely
please?
fucked.
The fuck?
Like, what the hell? So I had to push it to the side until the tow truck came. Pushed it most of the way, and some guy was like, I could help you.
Wait, so what about the tow truck?
Tow truck came, picked it up, but like the
You had to pay for a tow truck a block away from your house?
Yes.
The fuck?
Yeah.
No.
That's fucked up.
I
Well,
would
I
have found some people to
Dead
rally
ass
and
to
push my
push it,
goddamn
yeah.
car.
Oh my
That's
God, that
fucked.
would have been a lot of turning though, out of the gas station. That happened. You know, after a while, I go home and I'm like, let me go to sleep and watch some TV, watching TV. So while I'm watching TV, shut off,
What were you watching?
cable off. I was watching like murder, like what is it called?
Like a murder
That's
mystery?
fucked.
Right.
Mysteries.
Like in the middle of you watching it shut off?
Yes.
What the hell?
That's
So
fucked.
then I'm like, whatever, I will use my hotspot to
Yeah.
you know, watch TV. My phone gets shut off.
The fuck?
Oh.
while I'm watching,
Bennett,
continuing
why are
to
why
watch.
are your bills being shut off? Why are your shit being
Because
shut
I
off?
didn't have a job.
Bennett.
Unemployment ended and I didn't have a job or income for
Oh my
like,
God.
a hot
See, at
second.
that,
Okay.
it's like one thing after another. At that point, I would have started walking Aurora.
Anyway, I'm like still trying to do Amazon. Still
Yeah.
like I'm Ubering to Amazon, which costs money.
That costs money right there.
Yeah.
Why'd you not
Oh,
bus
no.
it?
That's
That's
like a
a lot.
2-hour
Yeah,
ride or
that's
true.
something.
That's true.
You know, I'll
Times
just
money.
bus one way
Yeah.
until my car
Plus,
is
you might
fixed.
get a needle stuck in you by accident
Fuck,
or
yeah, that's
something.
scary.
That's
Is
fun.
that-
That's
okay.
that's
fun.
fun.
No,
That's
Bennett
a
doesn't give a fuck.
fun Tuesday morning.
Listen, I'm from the East Coast, so like
Nothing
I
phases him.
grew up using
Yeah.
like public transportation.
I grew
you
up
did.
using
and
needles.
stuff.
yeah.
Not that. And then I'm like, oh my God, I feel so sick because when I got to Amazon,
Yeah.
I noticed people were wearing masks. It's a warehouse and shit. So I noticed people were wearing masks. So I'm like, let me put one on myself. Come to find out I caught COVID there.
Oh, yeah.
Went to urgent care because I'm like, I have strep throat. I have to call out of work
Yeah.
during my first week at work.
Right.
Let me get a doctor's note.
Yep.
They'd run the test and then all of a sudden they're like, you have COVID. I was like, oh shit.
That's so
And then I'm like, I'm
fucked.
sorry for my language. And
Yeah.
he was like, no, you just found out you had COVID.
Like that is fucked.
Yeah, so
Insane.
And
that-
you, but also you need to preference this by saying you have had how many shots for COVID?
like 3 or 4
How many times have you had COVID?
twice.
Yeah.
So it's all
How
bullshit.
do you get it though if you
Bullshit.
have
It
the
doesn't matter.
shots?
Every year it changes. Every
See, then
year
what's the point of
strain
getting the
changes.
shot?
Because they want you to keep. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Because you can get the flu shot, you can still get the flu.
We're good then. We're
good.
just not taking the shots
more shots.
anymore.
Yeah, no. Me and Emelia didn't take the shot.
No, I don't have it. I've never been
'Cause I know
vaccinated.
there's
Never.
people that are like, don't have sex with people that have the
Yes.
vaccine.
Dude, the people who have the
Oh my
vaccine can
God.
affect people who don't.
Well, did you see that they're now paying like $5,000 for men for their sperm who do not have the
Yeah.
vaccine? Why are they
Stop
doing that? See,
it.
that's like telling me like
Stop.
maybe we shouldn't get the vaccine.
Well, obviously, I knew not to get the vaccine before the vaccine was announced.
I feel like my vibration is so high that it's not.
Penetrating
And
you.
maybe while I went through all this shit, that's
Yeah.
because of the fucking vaccine. Like,
Yeah.
you know, like vibrations all
who
low.
knows what the long term effects are though.
I know. So hopefully I don't grow another arm or
I mean,
That'd be so fucking
That's-
cool if you had another arm though. That'd be
slap you
so-
3 times.
Yeah, hell yeah.
just get COVID tatted on it.
This is my COVID hand. Yeah, that was my pit. But like the peak is through it all, the breakup and all the shit that's happening and working at Amazon. I just feel like this year has definitely humbled me 100%. Like,
Yeah.
I went from like my dream job. I put so much work into radio.
Moved here for
Moved here for it, and
fired.
you know,
I say fired.
fired. Let
They
go.
they like to say that you got
That's
laid
a very
off.
Laid
polite
off.
way
But-
to
That's
a
say
polite-
it.
yeah.
I like to say fired.
Because that's
Yeah.
what it
A
is,
lot of
right?
people who get fired don't like to say fired. They like to say let go. And I'm
Yeah.
like, I got fired.
I mean, it is what it is. That's what happened.
And I feel like Amazon isn't like the fanciest job for those. Like a lot of people get laid off in radio and they don't want to go into a quote unquote normal job.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
like, people were telling me like, yo, you might have to get like a regular
Yeah.
job.
Yeah.
And it took me a while to
to be okay with that.
be okay with that. But like, it's truly humbling and
It's not forever.
it's
Well,
not forever either, you know? And I think that that's humbling in itself. Like, you know, like.
But I don't think it's like regular. Like I think at the end of the day, like it's a fucking paycheck, and if that's what you got to do, you got to fucking do it, you know. And like, cause the people that are saying like, oh, like he went from radio and now he's doing this, like, fuck off, you're not paying my fucking bills, bro.
Right.
You know
like,
what? Evan went from the radio to doing DoorDash.
Right.
Willingly.
I think it just speaks volumes on where we used to work.
Yeah.
Like I'm getting paid more at Amazon than I did at iHeart, and I worked for 10 years
Yeah.
in radio.
And dude, let me tell you how hard Bennett worked at that station.
Yeah.
He got shit on after getting shit on after getting shit on. Getting paid shit.
yeah.
So
all to get fired and then to go work at Amazon to get paid more.
Yeah, see, this is not a regular job. This is an amazing job. It's an amazing opportunity. You may meet people that you never would have met otherwise.
And there's a reason for it.
And there's a reason for it. And it's opening doors for you right now. And it gave you the opportunity to be okay with the fact that you and your partner are breaking up. Like, you would not be okay if you did not have this job, right? So
exactly.
It's a good thing.
And I just feel rejuvenated and I'm like looking forward to the future.
Yeah.
I say this right now because I was busy being a resilient king and I just want to document the bounce back. Like, you go through shit and watch this bounce back. It's gonna be amazing.
I love that.
And that's
for
what
you.
resilience is. You go through really, really tough situations and you don't let it hold you down. You know, like, you don't feel sorry for yourself. You don't let it hold you back. You just look forward to the future and keep going.
And
that's
excited.
exactly who you are.
Absolutely.
So I love you, and just do some protection spells.
Yes.
Just protect your damn energy.
Yeah, let me know. You got to put me on with
energy.
the protection.
Yeah. I love that for you.
Ooh, what's good with you, Emelia?
All right. So I'm going to start off with my pit. I'm going through a legal situation, and basically I was put into a position where I had to choose between invalidating the fact that I was in a DV situation or take hush money. And by the way, the hush money was really fucking embarrassing. It was not good.
Wait, when was this? When did this
This was like a couple days ago.
So what the... Why is he offering you money to not talk about your experience?
Because there was an eval that needed to be taken. I'm not going to say exactly what it was, but there was an eval that needed to be taken. It was assigned to us, and I took the eval, okay? Paid almost $6,000 for this eval 3 days before fucking Christmas. I have 2 children, okay? I had to pull money out of my ass. You know how many asses I had to suck for that money? Literally. And this person did not want to take this eval.
Which is psychotic.
Yes. Didn't want to take it. Yeah.
When was court ordered?
Pretty much.
I'm like, how did he get out of that? First of all,
Don't fucking know. It's been a year now since I've taken that, and now it's come back up because this person needs to get out of a certain like domestic violence class in order to graduate, they need to take this eval. Okay? Doesn't want to take it. So wants to give me hush money in order for us to just let it go.
What?
Yeah. And it's not even good hush money.
No.
The money, I'm just kind of like, first off, it's making me feel like I didn't actually get abused. If I take this money, like, it's making me feel like it's just like a fuck you type of thing. But then my other option is to go to court, fight that this person needs to take this eval, and I could possibly get told by the judge no. Then I'm not only out of money because I'm paying my lawyer, but then I'm also kind of embarrassed low-key because the judicial system is so fucked up when it comes to DV situations. They have you standing right next to this person. So it's not like it would be over Zoom or like them just talking to me saying no. No. It's right in front of my abuser that they're telling me no too.
But still, what is it worth for you? Maybe to possibly go there and get your way, right?
Yeah.
Or the other way, which if you think about it, who fucking cares? Like, because if you win, you win.
Yeah.
You know? And odds are you probably are going to win.
You know what, though?
It's going to cost more money.
It's going to cost way more money than I'll even get with the hush money. Like, it's going to cost so much fucking money.
Wait, so then what is the next step then in all of this? Does he not have to get it? Or like, what is this?
Possibly. I don't know. I'm at the point where I kind of just shut down a little bit, and I'm just like, do I take the hush money? Do I go to court and possibly have to pay another $5,000 to my lawyer?
Honestly,
like, I don't know what to do.
Do whatever the hell you want. But my intuition right now screaming at you is saying, do not take the money and
really
go to court.
And just go to court.
Because if you think about it, who fucking cares? Like, you're not gonna have to deal with him your whole life.
Yeah.
You won't. And honestly, if you lose, who fucking cares anyways? It's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
You tried. I mean, yes, it's having to see him and all of that, but it's like being able to overcome those emotions, not let somebody else affect you like that anymore.
And it sucks because I don't want to say that. And I know that these weirdos fucking listen to this podcast. I know they do. I know they do. Especially the partner of that person. Yeah, fucking weirdos. And it's not that that person affects me. It's the fact that my PTSD, it is actually really fucked up. It is fucked up still to this day.
Of course.
You know? And it's like, I just don't know if I want to be even put in the same vicinity as that person and be told no. Because I don't even like the word no. Like, I'm hardly told it, to be honest. No, for me
means numerous opportunities.
That's so true.
But so, I mean, you do have a child with this person, and you are going to have to deal with them for a little bit longer. So it's like, fight it, you know?
I know.
I think you should fight it,
because
too.
in my situation in court, I have been the one to be like, I don't want to fight it. I just want it to end. I'll take this. I'll take this. And like every fucking other person is like, don't do that.
Yeah.
Fight it.
Yeah.
Fight it. And I'm like, God, every fucking person. But when you're in the situation, you're like, I don't want to. I just want to be done.
I just want it to be peaceful. Like, I don't want any more issues. I'm so fucking over the issues because it's like I'm dealing with a baby mama at this point.
Dude,
like
I'm
a
so
bitter ass
freaking
baby
glad
mama.
that I don't have to deal with that.
You're so lucky. Bennett, you're so lucky too. Like you need to watch who you lay down with.
No, for real,
It is so true.
Oh, you absolutely 100% do.
Holy shit.
Yep.
Thank God I didn't have a child with
No.
one of my last.
Yes, seriously.
I couldn't even imagine. It would be your situation, Emelia. And I have two children. by
No,
two
but it'd
different
be
dads.
worse than my
It would
situation
be.
because your person has money.
Yep.
My person's a broke ass
Woo!
bum
I'm so
who
glad I did
doesn't
not.
who relies on their partner to pay for shit. Yours actually has fucking money,
would-
so
that's
that
scary.
would be scary.
Thank God. And I have 2 baby dads and no issues. So I would hate that.
And that's the thing is I have 2 baby dads. One of the 2 I'm cool with.
Yeah.
I'm great with. Like if the common denominator was me in this situation, like I have issues with both of them, then I'd be like, you know what? I'm the bitter baby mama. Like I've got some shit I got to work out. But I don't have issues with both of them. I have issues with one of them.
yeah.
So
And I've heard a lot of stories, and I can tell you that you are not the common denominator.
thank you. I appreciate that. But anyway, so that's my pit. I'm kind of just dealing with that right now. My peak though, so because of all of that, my vibration is just kind of low. You know, it's been like that, and I think the weather too has kind of been
For sure.
fucking me up a little bit. Yeah, it's just not great. But I got my hair done, and honestly, I know that
Okay.
sounds so like stupid, but taking time to do self-care and like making yourself feel pretty, it helps so fucking much. Like I feel like such a bad bitch just because my hair got done.
Well, your hair's in a bonnet. What did you do to it?
I got some tracks put in.
Okay.
You know, I got some
Okay.
tracks. Yeah. I got a little,
Who
I
did
got
you,
some
where'd
inches.
you go?
My sister.
Oh, she.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. You know, she's good.
Oh, hey, sis.
She's
Hey.
fucking good. Yeah. Yeah.
That's dope. You know, honestly, Amelia, like it's
Did you get
from.
your hair done too?
I did. I got like a half an inch cut off more than I normally do.
Yeah.
So it's definitely shorter because I have short hair, but
No,
I
but it
love
looks healthy and
I
it looks
fucking love
thick.
it. Yeah,
Because you did that.
I do have thick hair though.
Yeah.
but
I
it's
love it.
Already grown out a little
It's
bit.
giving Posh Spice.
Oh, Spice Girls.
yes.
Oh, Victoria.
Yes, like the baddest
her.
bitch out of all of them. I
her.
love
I got
Sporty,
my
but
hair
her
too.
too.
You
You
sure-
look
and your
so
fade looks bomb.
handsome.
Listen, thank you. I didn't get a hair. I haven't gotten a haircut in like, oh my gosh, it's been a while. It's
Yeah.
because I've just been going through shit. And
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
we have bills that we have to pay
Yeah.
before getting
It's
the haircut.
expensive, too.
So yeah, and barbers are
And-
costing like 60, 80 a head.
For sure. And
Yep.
men need haircuts like every week and a half, I feel like.
It is, yeah.
Every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So I just feel so much better.
Yeah,
Good.
see?
Yeah, it looks bomb.
Getting
It
your
does.
hair done.
Okay, yeah.
Look at us
Self-care.
all with new haircuts.
We did.
Yeah.
Who this?
Exactly, yes.
For real though, it's something about the hair because every time I get my hair done, I feel better. And it's not like that with other self-care that I do, but
No,
getting your
not
hair
at
done
all.
for sure makes you feel better. So, okay. We're just rambling now
Yeah.
about
Peek
hair.
and pit.
Peek and pit. Are you done?
I'm done.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm good.
So my pit is I just haven't been feeling like the best lately because I didn't want to get divorced, and I'm going through that. So had mediation recently, did not come to an agreement, which sucked because I really wanted to. I was really hoping and I thought we were going to and we didn't. But just having to deal with that energy and like those emotions have been really hard because I'm heartbroken. Like I'm so fucking heartbroken. Like I've been really missing, but it's not reality like of what it was, right? So
Yeah.
it's like my therapist talks to me about what the situation was and how it wasn't actual like true reality for life.
Yeah.
So it's not who I thought it was. And so it's like I miss what I thought it was, but I've just been feeling down and like I don't really suffer from depression, but I feel like maybe mild depression. And it doesn't like it just is sadness really.
Have you suffered with this before? Or do you think it's
I have, yeah.
situational right now?
It is situational and I have felt it before.
Yeah.
And it doesn't usually last like a long time in my life.
Yeah.
Like it'll whatever. But I've been definitely going through it.
I think that a lot of people don't understand what you're going through is really fucking hard, Alex. Like,
Yeah, and it's like I wish I could just talk about what happened and the whole story, but I just cannot yet right now.
for legal reasons.
And it was very painful.
Yeah.
Okay. It was very painful. Very unexpected, painful ending.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But my peak and my pit kind of go into one. And real quick, before I start my peak, I have 2 peaks. And I want to say that my daughter turned 18 this last week.
I love that for her.
So I have an adult daughter and I'm so excited. I'm more excited than she is because
Yeah.
Which is insane
She's
because
adult.
Alex looks like
An
she's
18-year-old
someone's
herself.
daughter
No, seriously.
Well,
yeah.
obviously she's
I
someone's
am.
daughter, but you
Yeah.
look like an 18-year-old
Yeah.
yourself.
I feel 18, so that's cool.
Yes.
I mean, go me.
Amazing. Go you. Like
And-
both of you being moms.
Yes.
Young
so
moms.
fun.
Like I feel like one, it's like really tough because you're a baby raising a baby.
Mm-hmm.
But I also think it's like dope because look at you. You already raised your baby and like you're still young yourself.
Yep.
Yeah.
You feel
It's
me?
amazing.
No, you can tell the difference between kids that have been raised by actual adults that like, you know, have been married and like, you know, that have the typical story.
Yeah.
And then you can tell the children that were raised by us teens because those motherfuckers are resilient. Okay. Let me tell you, because they were growing with us.
Yeah.
We were dead ass, we were nowhere near. Nobody should have let us have children at
Me
that
and
age.
Amelia both got pregnant at 17.
Yeah. I don't know how my child's alive, to be honest. She's 11 years old. Yours is 18. How the fuck did we do this?
I mean, I know how mine was alive because I was ready to be a mom, you know? Like yep, let's do this. I didn't try to get pregnant. I wasn't, you know, wanting to get pregnant.
Yeah.
But when I did get pregnant, I'm like, fuck yeah, I'm going
let's
to be
do
a
it.
mom.
Oh.
Let's go. And she was by my side.
Really?
I didn't
You
go out.
loved it?
Oh, I loved it. I was ready. I was like, from a child, I wanted to be a
Really?
mom. Like, I loved babies. Like, my whole life, it's like a nurturing. I don't know. It's weird. But super ready to be a mom.
Yeah.
Loved it. She was by my side. She was my ride or die her whole life.
Yeah.
I didn't go out in my 20s. Like, I mean, my 20s were with my daughter.
Really?
Yeah, so I'm
See,
like, now she's grown. I have my 11-year-old. He's
Yeah.
half the time at his dad's, and I'm like, fuck, I'm so ready to by myself
Yeah.
for the first time in my adult life.
Yeah, for
I still got,
sure.
like 6 years left to just finally like not have any responsibility for children.
Yeah.
But I can't wait, and no more kids for me.
Which is amazing.
That's amazing.
And then okay, so my other peak is I've been feeling down, right, because that situation, and I'm like, I really need some healing. I'm a healer, but
Yeah.
you know, healers need healing too, and I have this girl that hit me up like a while back. She's a past life regression therapist. And I was like, you know, I'm going to hit her up and I'm going to do this. So I had a 2-hour session with her and she's actually going to be our guest today. I'm so excited to have her on because the experience was amazing. And I'm going to tell you what happened in my experience. If you don't know what past life regression is, basically the therapist will guide you and walk you through to get to like a sedative state where you're just very relaxed, and a lot of people will be hypnotized, and some people remember the entire thing. Some people will not remember anything, but it's recorded. You can hear everything. You can see it all. And then you just find out stuff about your past lives or whatever your guys need to tell you, things like that. So started off this session, and okay, so I actually am certified in past life regression, but I don't do it to people. I do it to myself, but it's different when it's guided by somebody else because she asks questions and she, it's just different. Anyway, so you lay down, close your eyes, and she talks you through how to get very relaxed. And then it was just the whole fucking time, you guys, I was crying. I was laying down on my back, and so it was just like the tears were just streaming down to the back of my head, basically. When I got done, the back of my hair was like freaking soaked, pretty much, like all wet.
Really?
Because when I would stop crying, like immediately start crying again. I could not help it. I was like, because I'm broken, like just my heart is broken, like sad. And I knew I needed this healing. So basically at the end of the session, I felt a lot better and I could tell that I had healing and I learned a lot. And if you want to hear what happened in my past life regression story, then you're going to have to listen on Wednesday because I'm going to tell the whole story what happened and you'll find out then.
You're such a little tease. My
So see you
goodness.
guys on Wednesday for that.
Special episode this week.
I love
But
that.
yeah, that's it for the pit and the peaks. I'm like, what the fuck? Why is the pit and the peak so hard to say sometimes? I don't
You know
get
what?
it.
I feel like I'm having a stroke half the time I fucking say it. No, dead ass, because I'm like pit, peak, 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 pit.
and
Yeah,
I'm
like
okay, anyways, the P and P. Okay, so before we begin the resilient story, I want to address the audio quality is not going to sound like it normally does because, well, I'm just going to blame the shadow of Mercury in retrograde period. But yeah, something had happened in between when we recorded and the guest recorded. So we apologize for that, but you can thank Mercury. All right, it's now time for the resilient story. And please welcome our guest, Daylee.
Hello.
Dayle.
Oh,
Right?
I think
Did I get that right?
I think I follow you on Instagram.
Oh yeah,
actually.
you probably do.
I think so.
Yeah.
So-
Very cool.
Yeah, she does past life regression therapy, and I got a session yesterday. Bennett just got a session, and Amelia needs a session.
Incredible.
It's like everybody needs a session,
Yeah.
but I'm gonna hand the mic over to Daylee, and she's gonna explain to you what that means and what she does, and she's gonna tell us a resilient story as well. And we don't even actually know what the resilient story is, so I'm excited. Usually we do.
Yeah.
So
surprised.
it was like a pop quiz for her and for us now. So
Yeah, so probably my resilience story and the way that I got into all this are going to be one and the same. My first daughter was stillborn about 10 years ago, and I got the diagnosis when I was 20 weeks pregnant. And so I had some time to prepare, which I felt was a huge blessing. I was able to just kind of tap into and be very intentional about what it was that I wanted my motherhood journey to be like, even though I knew that she wasn't going to be with me for very long. And she ended up, I had her at about 31 weeks. I just went into one of my weekly appointments and they told me that her heart was no longer beating. And the whole experience with having to be induced and going to the hospital was obviously very traumatic. And moving through all of that, I think I just had a lot of opportunities to decide what was my life meant to be? What is life all about? And if I were lucky enough to get pregnant again and have another child, what would I want that to be like? Why would I put myself at the risk of possibly losing another child? Now it's very real in my life that children die. Sometimes parents bury their children. It's just a part of motherhood. But I decided, I kind of woke up one day actually when I was pregnant with her, and I had this thought going through my head for a couple weeks of, why did I get pregnant on this cycle? Like in my head, like I just thought the only reason it was happening was because, I don't know, I happened to get pregnant that month. And I realized that I was really wishing her away. Like I'd wanted to be a mom for so long, and here I had the opportunity and it didn't look the way I wanted it to. And I was like, oh, I don't want it anymore. I really became aware of what I was actually saying and thinking and like wishing into existence. And I was like, no, that's not true. I'm so happy to be a mom right now. And so from that moment forward, I just embraced what I was given. A lot of moving through the pregnancy, knowing I wasn't going to be able to keep her, was understanding how I wanted to spend a little bit of time that I had with her. And then thinking again, if I got pregnant and I was blessed enough to be a mother like long term in this lifetime, what would I want that to look like? And a lot of it for me was like not working 40 hours a week so that I could have my child being taken care of by someone else for 40 hours a week. I just was really just sitting with what motherhood is like, honestly, in our society. It just really led me down this path, this, I don't know, rabbit hole of what am I doing here? And like, what actually makes me happy? Like what is my intention every day when I get up? And the other thing was the love that I experienced through recognizing that she had chosen me and I had chosen her. Mm-hmm. I was so happy to have had that experience, even though I had to bury her. It's like the question, is it better to have loved and lost than to have never loved at all? And it's absolutely to have loved and lost. There's never a time I wouldn't go back in time and not choose her, not choose that experience. I would do it again in every lifetime. And actually, since then, I realized that this isn't the first lifetime that we've done that together. We've actually done that a lot. It's been a very important part of my own journey and my growth as a soul and my motherhood journey, which is a big part of kind of what I've come here to embody and to teach about. And so I guess in a nutshell, that would be my resilience story and kind of how I got into all of this.
Okay.
So yeah.
Deep.
You said first, right?
Mm-hmm.
And did you have any more kids?
Yes. So I've had 4 since then.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And I always have these full circle moments. When I first moved to Washington State, I came from Tennessee. That's where I had my first daughter. And I would go to this beach a lot, just like a lot of like mourning and grief there at the ocean. It's so healing to be out in nature in general, just to be connecting, but the water especially for me was very healing. And I would go there and I would like jog and, just like take it all in. It's very healing. And I had a chance to go back there 4 or 5 months ago. And I went with my, he was like 7 months old at the time. I went with my 7-month-old and I had this like out of body experience where I like went and sat down on this bench with him and like I could like see myself in my mind's eye walking down the beach 10 years ago mourning my first daughter. And I'm getting emotional because I just had this experience where I was like, that version of me wasn't conscious of it, but I always knew I was gonna get to this point where I had 4 babies later, just sitting on the bench, like thankful to her and to my first daughter for everything that we went through so that I could bring my happy and healthy, 7-month-old with me to the beach just to hang out and feel close to my first daughter and that version of myself who at the time had no idea that it was gonna get better. It's like I always knew in my heart and my soul, but in the physical, it, certainly didn't appear that it was ever going to get any better. So anyway.
That experience definitely made you the mother you are, for sure,
It's very powerful. So, a lot of women experience fertility issues and stories likewise to yours, and you sharing your story is going to resonate with a lot of women. So thank you, honestly, for sharing that. That was, that's got to be heartbreaking, but how you explained it is like the healing that you came out of it made sense in a way that was like, oh, like I felt that.
So you said that you guys chose each other.
Yeah.
How did that,
Yeah.
What do you mean by that?
Yeah. So again, this took years for me to figure this out after I lost her, but I've had lots and lots of visions and dreams and just these understandings since then about the fact that I've had other lifetimes where I carried her. I've actually never birthed her in any lifetime and gotten to keep her. She's always chosen to come in to give me this lesson of an opportunity to understand what motherhood, just the epitome of motherhood. It's always an opportunity for me to really understand what my meaning of motherhood is.
So do you, when you say that, and I know there's no perfect mother. I know, even the best mothers sometimes we're a hot mess. But do you, when you say that she taught you, do you think that it was kind of to perfect you a little bit because you said you have 4 children now. Do you think it kind of helped you now as a mother? You learned things, and I don't know how to explain that.
No, that makes sense. I think a lot of it was moving through dark experiences so that at some point I would be able to actually truly appreciate the lighter experiences.
Yeah.
And a lot of my journey as a mother in this lifetime has been realizing that human motherhood is a hot mess. It's not meant, it's not all love and light.
Yeah.
We come here to be all the things. We are creation. We are doing that in a literal physical sense. And it's chaos. Creation isn't perfect and ordered and beautiful and light and feels good all the time. Creation is a mess. And learning, that I wasn't supposed to come here and do it all right and perfect. And in my experience, my first daughter's name is Kennedy. My experience with Kennedy was very much that. Sometimes, babies die. It's awful. It's so hard. It's just the energy of that. People just cringe to hear it. Of course, understandably so, but that's just the reality of it. And then, so many of the other day-to-day parts of motherhood are a similar energy. Of course, not quite the magnitude of that, but it's hard. Sometimes parents yell, sometimes kids get mad, sometimes people judge you, sometimes you judge yourself. It's just all a part of being a mom on earth.
Do you think that losing Kennedy made you kind of appreciate motherhood a lot more now with your children that are physically here?
Yeah, the appreciation and also just being able to make decisions very intentionally. I don't really parent my children or create a dynamic in my family that follows a lot of the mainstream norms and narratives.
What do you mean by that?
Just homeschooling and the way that I talk to them and discipline sorts of things, and even just little things like cloth diapering or letting them sleep in the bed and things of that nature. But I'm just so intentional about what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. I went to school, actually. Funny enough, I got 3 degrees in human development. So before my whole awakening, I was dedicated all of my 20s going to school and learning all about how humans develop, the natural way, us as mammals, right? At the most instinctual and primal, without capitalistic society getting in the way or whatever, right? And so just figuring out what I want to do and how I can achieve that and why I'm doing it has been a really important part of my journey.
Very well said.
At the time, because it was very difficult, and did it take you a while to learn that lesson afterwards, and where did you find that strength to carry on and actually be able to fully learn about that? How long was it after until you had another child?
I had a lot of grief and sadness and depression for quite a while. I felt like I was in bed for the better part of 6 months after I had her. And I blessed and fortunate that just the way that things worked out financially and the other parts of my life, I was able to just take time and heal. And that was probably a big driving force in me not wanting to like work like a traditional job and go back to like the 9 to 5 and all this other stuff. I just was like, oh, I don't want to do that. I really enjoyed being able to just like sleep and mourn, right? Or just like sit around the house or do whatever I wanted to do because I didn't feel like getting up and functioning in society, you know?
Sounds like you were listening to your body.
Yeah, I trusted that and I allowed it. And I think that a lot of the acceptance piece of what I had went through with her and like really being able to integrate that was just really sitting in stillness. Like I allowed myself to just be sad. You know, I didn't force myself. If someone asked me to go to lunch, I didn't just do it because I felt obligated or, oh, it's so rude not to or whatever. I just sat with it. Like you said, I listened to my intuition and I feel like that really helped the process of understanding why did I choose that? Like, why did we go through that? You know, what was the purpose of that? And being able to integrate that in a meaningful way moving forward, which for me, you know, that's kind of what resilience is all about, making meaning and being able to like apply it to the future and like still have some hope or something to move towards. So
Daylee, I love you because we asked all of our guests what resilience means to them and you just did it. You just already answered it. You just did my job, you know, easier for me. But I want you to talk about your job now. Yeah. So how long have you been doing it? What is it called? Yeah. What does it mean? And all the fun things. Yeah, I guess I consider myself a quantum healing practitioner. Quantum is just, I don't know, kind of an abstract term for energetic. I don't know, it's like healing that takes place not in the physical, but like somewhere else, like outside of yourself in the quantum field. In a nutshell, I help clients get into a relaxed enough state that they can connect to their own guidance and their higher self, whatever is important to them, inner child, whatever. They are able to bring through what's important for them. I'm also able to read people's energy, and so I can tap into past life stuff or higher self stuff or whatever. But it's so much more meaningful when people are able to tap into it for themselves. And I've been doing it for about three or 4 years now. I had always felt like I was supposed to be doing something on Earth that was like different from what I was like doing in the moment, like the 3D, like just moving through. I have a job and I make money and then I go on vacation sometimes. Like that's nice and I'm enjoying it and I feel blessed. But you know, I got all these degrees. I got a bachelor's, a master's, and a PhD, and then I taught online and I drove for Uber for years because I was like, I don't really want tenure. Yeah. That's too much work. Who wants to do all that? It sounds awful. For sure. And so I was trying to like figure out, you know, use my degrees that I could have like bought a whole entire house instead of getting these degrees. Anywho, I used them for a little while and I drove for Uber. That just felt like very like, I don't know, there's a lot of freedom. It was nice to like chat with like one person for a little while and then they left and like I don't know, was stuck with them all day or whatever, you know, coworkers, you know. But I was like, there is something else I'm supposed to be doing. Like, what is it? I love Uber, but it's not driving people around in my car all day. So can we figure it out here? And someone in like one of my soul awakening groups posted something. It was a Dolores Cannon video talking about the 3 waves of volunteers. And I was like, oh, I've never heard of this. My ego was hurt a little. I was like, I feel like I know a little bit about like a lot of different stuff and I'd never heard about the waves of volunteers. Like, what is this?
What is that? The waves of volunteers.
So Dolores Cannon, she's like one of like the pioneers. She's like the OG past life regression person.
She's no longer living, unfortunately.
Yeah, she passed, and she did something similar to what I do, or I suppose maybe I do something similar to what she did. Anyway. And she was having a lot of consistent information coming through her clients about basically past lives. She accidentally regressed someone back. She just discovered it like on accident. And they went back into like a different lifetime entirely. And then she started having a lot of people who were talking about ET, abduction experiences, aliens, all this type of thing.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and then a lot of people were talking about lifetimes they remembered, like when they were at source, whatever that means for everyone, when they were on a different planet, and then realizing that there was essentially like a call, like a universal call for other beings to come and help Earth. Because Earth was struggling, humans are having a hard time down here. And so that's what this video was all about. And I just knew immediately, I was like, oh my gosh, this is the thing. This is what I've been waiting for. And so I, got the course. Of course, I put it on a credit card because that was the life I was living. Like, yes, just charge that right now. Well, so I have all this other student debt anyway. Who cares?
Yeah.
Like within 3 or 4 weeks of seeing clients, and the rest is history. I took another certification that allowed me to do sessions online. Dolores Cannon was very particular about people not being able to do sessions remotely, and I've always respected that. I never used her method and her scripts to do anything via Zoom. But I really felt like for me, like being a single mom, I was like, I need the flexibility of like remote. I've done sessions for clients all over the world.
And it works.
It's amazing. It works. I have like a caveat about, okay, if the connection goes down, this is what we do, and you'll just come back out of your trance.
What do you feel like is better? Do you feel like in person is better, or do you feel like it works just as good both ways?
It really works just as well to do them remotely, but I just tell clients that they have to do whatever they feel called to do.
Yeah.
And if someone is really insistent about wanting an in-person, if they happen to be local, sometimes we talk about it, but it's really never worked out for me to actually do. I've done some in-person sessions, but like since I've really had my business up and running, I just tell people that whatever they feel called to do is probably what they should do.
Really?
So,
Okay. Can you explain the different types of like when people go into regression, or like kind of like what I did yesterday opposed to what other people would do?
Mm-hmm. So I have this like spiel that I usually give at the beginning of my sessions, and I basically tell people that there's like three different types of experiences to have. So the first one is people have really intense visuals, or they very clearly hear like auditory information. They're in a very deep level of trance. When they come out of the session, they usually don't really remember anything. And they're like, oh my God, did I fall asleep? I'm so embarrassed. Like, what was that, like 10 or 15 minutes? Should we try again? And I'm like, it was 2 hours actually. You did great. Like, here's the recording. They're in a very deep level of trance. People in the next category, sometimes they'll still get some visuals and hear some things, but their conscious mind is still at least somewhat present. And so they're able to interact a little bit. Sometimes they like to interfere a little bit, have a hard time like leaving and relaxing and like going very deep.
That was me.
Mm-hmm.
That was definitely me.
Yeah.
That was me too.
Yeah. Again, and even the visuals in that type of experience, they're a little bit more removed. It's like in your mind's eye, you can call something up, but like, it's not like you close your eyes and it's like a movie being played on like the back of your eyelids. It's like a little bit more removed, but you can still repeat what you're seeing and what you're hearing.
Why is that? Because I feel like, is it because your conscious is stopping you from getting there? Because during mine, I felt like if I allowed myself, I could see for sure, but I feel like I was scared to go there.
Yeah, it's different for everyone. Some people just do feel resistant. Maybe there's trauma from childhood. Maybe they're really gifted and they know that tapping into this is going to open their gifts for them, and they're like, yeah, I'm not ready for all that. And usually the ego interpretation is never, wow, I'm really powerful, but I don't want to do that right now, so I'm just not going to. Usually it's, I can't do it, I don't know, it's really uncomfortable, or it's painful, or whatever. And a lot of people, some people are just not visual. I didn't realize for like the first 38 years of my life that aphantasia is like you close your eyes and someone says, picture an apple. People actually see an apple. What?
I was just trying to see, am I like that?
Like a literal picture. Like the same thing if you were showed a picture with your eyes open, it's like the same with your eyelids closed. And I was like, oh, I didn't know people did that. It's nothing.
Wait, so you don't see?
Nothing.
So like close your eyes right now.
Like if you said see french fries, I could see the french fries.
Literal. Like actually like a picture. Just the same as if someone.
Is that a gift? Yes. Is that considered a gift, or is that normal?
It's some people have aphantasia and some people don't. Usually people who can visualize really well have a much easier time tapping into their clairvoyance, which is just their ability to see. But it doesn't mean that you can't be psychic or get downloads or see a past life at all. Totally. Because try this exercise. Pretend like you were kidnapped, right? Some guy, I don't know, snatches you off the street, blindfolds you, throws you in the back of his car and drives you to the middle of the desert, and then opens the door and like throws you out and then leaves. And you're in the middle of the desert now, blindfolded. How would you know that you're in the middle of the desert? And like you can feel into that, right? How did you know you were in the desert if you were blindfolded?
The sounds, the sand.
Yeah, other senses.
Yeah,
the sounds, the sand.
You just know it's the energy of it, right?
Yeah.
You just know what the energy of the desert is. And that's true. And the other thing is like people who are blind obviously still like beautiful, meaningful, very rich lives like through all of their other senses, right? So it's the same principle.
Okay.
But so many people want to keep themselves small and say, well, I can't visualize, like I can't be hypnotized, I can't see anything, like it's never gonna work. But knowingness is my strongest gift. It's my strongest clair. And so I just know the things. Like I just know, but trusting the knowingness without the physical like proof of a vision or like an auditory message can be really hard. And actually that's the third group of people.
Yes.
They just know. A lot of them are just channeling. So their conscious mind is so fully present at the same time that their higher self is present. And they're just like working a kind of like in partnership to bring the things forward.
Okay.
It's nice sometimes to have your conscious mind present so that you can like direct the session and the healing. Like, I really want to know, whatever. I always hated my uncle. Like, let's go back and I want to know, show me what happened there or whatever.
Was that what I did?
Yeah, you were more, your conscious mind was present and you were able to kind of just open up your body and your own energy to allow your higher self or your spirit guides or whoever to kind of speak through you.
Which is what I always do, because that's what I always do.
Yeah. I tend to manifest clients who have that experience. And for a while, when I first started doing it, part of me was like, well, I'm doing something wrong. Like, why are they still, like, they were getting information that was meaningful, but I was like, a lot of the different, I don't know, techniques or whatever will say, oh, they're not deep enough. Like, you have to figure out how to take them deeper. And I actually ended up creating my whole own modality because I found that people didn't need to go that deep.
Interesting.
It's so meaningful to be conscious and present as this stuff is coming through. And it also makes it a lot easier when you're not in a session like one-on-one with a practitioner then afterwards to just do it yourself on your own.
So it's really hard for me to get hypnotized. And I really want you to hypnotize me one day. Like, because like I definitely will not allow myself a lot.
It's hard.
I've tried before like several times.
I mean, I've had a lot of sessions myself too as a client, and I don't like leave completely and then come back and I'm like shocked by what I said. Like I'm very removed and I'm not controlling. I don't have any control over what I'm saying, but I'm still very present. And the other thing is that for what we're doing, like with trying to see past lives and guidance, etc., it's just not necessary. And so a lot of us, like our guides and our higher self, are like, you're not going to have that experience because you don't need to.
Yeah.
You're powerful. You can just channel it all. You don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
So when you do this, like when you were doing Bennett's, like can you see everything? Like, how does that work? Like,
yeah. So traditionally, with the modality of past life regression, a practitioner will regress, so bring the client back to whatever past life, childhood, whatever.
Okay.
And there's still, of course, an element of intuition, like just intuitively feeling it out and knowing the best questions to ask or like where to lead it. But in my modality specifically, I tell practitioners to do whatever they feel called to do, because a lot of us are connected and tapped in, and we can either see, if you're clairvoyant, you're able to see, you can like kind of see things unfolding as well, or you can just feel into it and you just know, oh, I really feel called to ask about the relationship between them and them, because I just keep thinking, I keep feeling that there was some bad thing happened between the two of them, so I want to ask that question.
I'm just so because I'm very interested.
You should have a session.
I
mean, she can't do it right now. No.
I'm a little scared though.
You should definitely.
I'm a little scared though.
And I tell people who are feeling scared and apprehensive that there's no rush.
Yeah.
And it can be really helpful too, like if he felt willing, but also I have a bunch of stuff on my YouTube and stuff that like go like listen to other people's messages and watch them and stuff.
I think I need to do that.
That can be helpful.
Like fully educate myself on it, because I did it one time by accident.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that that's what I signed up for. I thought I was signing up for Reiki healing. And she ended up doing the past life regression on me. It kind of like freaked me out a little bit, because I was like, first off, didn't really like.
Well, you weren't prepared.
I wasn't prepared for it. I didn't know that's what she was throwing at me. And so I was like, what the fuck is this? Like, it was a little scary. But so you saw Bennett being a princess in the castle and like not being able to get out, right?
Right.
And then he saw that too. You saw that?
I seen that, and
like it was like a movie.
There were some parts that were like a movie.
He was telling me. It's really the answer.
And he was like, I'm in a castle.
So then,
Okay,
so
that's
then
what you
my
asked.
other question is, you kind of go in levels. So like you start off, like he said, you did the child thing. And then you got past that level. And then you're like, okay, we can go to the next level, which is going back. So how far back did you go?
So every client is different, but with him, I had started off just getting really relaxed and tapping into his body and like thinking about his heart, doing all these things, like bring everything together. Because usually we're like brain and logic led, right? The mind.
Yeah.
And so trying to bring, mind, body, and spirit all together to like work cohesively. And then I told him to like think of a beautiful place. It's very open-ended. Whatever the beautiful place is. Maybe you've been here, maybe you haven't. Just taking it all in. What does it look like? What does it feel like? Blah, blah, blah. And then I usually have, it's very suggestive in some ways, planning the subliminals about now your higher self is here and you guys are going to move together. There's like a breeze and it's lifting you up and it's so comfortable and relaxing.
It's cozy,
it's really, it's so important that people feel safe because if they're like scared and tense, you're not going to get anything.
When you did that, I like pictured like his higher self like grabbing his hand and then like floating in the air to the next level.
Yeah,
like it sounded nice.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You pictured it. See, you're already doing it.
Oh well, I was tapped in.
You're doing great. Yeah. Yeah, and he still had a little bit of a hard time, and I was like, okay, now you've moved to an important space. Tell me what there is.
Yeah.
And he was like, I think I'm fighting it. I'm not really sure. And that's when I brought the inner child in. Yeah. And because usually there really are layers too, and I talk about this in my course, where you can only like move through the things that you've like faced, you've really integrated like in your current life. So if there's like a lot of childhood trauma or relational trauma that either you haven't dealt with at all or you think that you've dealt with and you haven't, you can't really move through that to jump to like your past life as like an alien or a mermaid. Like that's too much.
When you saw yourself, you literally saw yourself as a princess.
I seen myself as a child princess, like a kid running through the castle.
So it's like,
but everything else I seen from point of view.
Yeah, from his eyes.
Oh, like you were.
And I think you also asked something about that, like when you were a child there, and that's when I thought about like seeing myself running around as a kid there.
You actually slipped into first person before I started suggesting, because at first I was like, well, why don't you have your inner child tell us a story? I could just tell that was like a safe, cozy way for you to like tap in.
So he was talking this whole time?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. I thought he was like dead. Like
no, he's talking the whole time.
I was confused.
Yeah, and he's telling me what he's saying.
When you explained it, like some people who are like very deep and being hypnotized, they don't remember what they're saying, some of them, right? And they'll just like rapid fire just start answering her questions.
So that's why you record it.
Yeah.
So then that way, because they are not even going to remember.
Right, exactly.
In the trance.
Yep.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. And you know what? I did message you actually, because I messaged you about, I wanted to see if there's things that I forgot from childhood.
Oh, interesting.
Yes. Because you did like a special or something, right? One time, like on live.
Yes.
Yeah, that's you. Yeah, we talked.
Oh my gosh,
that's so funny.
Okay. So, and I told you, I was like, I'm really freaked out about. I was a weirdo that was messaging you.
Oh no.
No, this was like maybe a month ago.
3
weeks ago. Yeah. And you were like, you told me something like it's okay, like because I was like really worried about what could pop up. That's crazy that you're here today.
Yo, you know what's even so crazier? I spoke of it last night. I was talking to my friend and I'm like, there's people that do what she does without even knowing that.
Yeah.
Because our guest was sick this morning and I had to find a new guest. Yeah. And I just did this past life regression with her yesterday. Asked her to come as a guest on the podcast, but I hadn't yet. And then our guest canceled because she was sick. So I'm like, well, I'm gonna ask her, and she could, thankfully she could come last minute. But it's like all
connected.
It's all synchronicity.
That's crazy.
Like that's crazy.
Yeah. And then I was like freaked out, so then I didn't message you back.
Because
you're here. Look.
She messaged me a long time ago, and like I was like, yeah, I'll do it, but like I was putting it off, and then I did it.
I was just.
I never take offense. I don't ever think people are weird.
No. And you were very kind, because I straight up told you like I'm a weirdo, just so you know, like.
Wait, you don't remember her messaging you?
I had a lot of messages.
Yeah.
She's popular.
She's popular.
Definitely do it. It's like, honestly.
I'm okay, so then is my brain going to, like, Bennett was obviously ready for what he saw.
I feel like if I knew that I was going to do it today, if I was going to do it today, I would have been ready.
Okay, got it.
But because it was on the spot, it took a little while to get there. But I feel like if I knew what was coming, like, in 4 weeks I'm going to sit down and do this, I would have been ready to take off.
Okay, got it.
So,
and it was 30 minutes. I mean, usually it's a 90 or 120 minute session.
Right.
Really?
And he was fine. He saw an entire past life, spoke to his higher self.
Yeah.
Like a whole thing.
You just went right in there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Where do we follow you? Because you're so popular. Emelia, you could tell us.
Yeah, right? Daylee.rose on Instagram.
It is you.
The best place.
Yes.
Daylee.
Yeah.
Rose.
Yep.
Well, thank you so much, Daylee.
Yeah,
Thank
no problem.
you.
It's an honor.
All right, it is that time of the week for the conspiracy. And this week, we are doing the conspiracy about Princess Diana.
Oh, fashion icon.
Which is also very weird based on what the past life regression for Bennett
Oh,
was.
yes.
Yeah, because
Hella weird.
before the podcast today, I did past life regression, and I found out that I was a princess locked away in the 1400s.
Yeah.
Locked away in a castle. So,
Yeah.
and it's insane because like during the reading, she asks, why did you bring us to this life, to this story?
Yeah.
And it was like, because he's talking about it today.
Ooh, God. That's crazy.
Yes.
It was
What
wild.
the fuck?
And to even have Daylee on because she wasn't our original guest
No.
for this week. Our guest who we had scheduled got sick. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to ask Daylee because I had just had a session with her. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I was going to ask her anyway.
Yeah.
And last night, I was literally talking to my friend. I'm like, you know, there's people, because I was like thinking about my past lives and, you know, trying to put connections on my own end. And I was like, there's people that do this. There's people that will literally, mediums that will help you find out about your past life.
Yeah.
Our original special guest cancels and Daylee's here.
All
That's
while
crazy.
he didn't have a clue that it was Daylee or that it was going to be anything that has to do
Yeah.
with that.
Yeah.
And then he got a past life regression session
Which is so crazy.
that next day. Okay. All right. So yeah, now Princess Diana, she was a princess of Wales and she passed away on the morning of August 31st of 97 in a car accident in a tunnel in Paris because she was being chased by the paparazzi and they were not held responsible in court, which is insane.
That's
so
Like the
crazy.
paparazzi.
yeah, the paparazzi who were chasing her, they didn't get held responsible in court. So an investigation found that the driver was intoxicated, causing him to swerve and crash in the tunnel.
The driver that Princess Diana
No.
was using? Oh, the driver of the paparazzi.
The driver of Princess Diana.
Because in the
Okay, got
car
it.
was Princess Diana, the driver, her bodyguard who survived, and her boyfriend.
Okay.
Yeah, this shocked the entire freaking world. There was like 2.5 million people watching the funeral, and this was way back in the day, 97, you guys. But the royal family, they were criticized for their reaction and the lack of support.
Because I know there was that scene that everybody wanted to see during the funeral. They wanted to see like the queen, how she reacted to Diana passing by. And like apparently when Casa went by, the queen was just like snood.
That's weird.
Well, I know that there's a lot of conspiracies with that. I think the main one is that the royals had that done.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah, I feel like because she isn't blood, right? She's married
Yeah.
in, just like Meghan Markle. So I feel like because Princess Diana was like more outspoken, she was kind of an outcast.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what I've heard.
Absolutely. And I heard she was like people's princess.
Yeah.
I hear because
She was a fan favorite.
She was a fan
Yes,
favorite, and the
yes.
queen didn't like that. So
Yeah.
what's the conspiracies?
Okay, well, one is the security service connection. The driver was paid off to cause the accident.
Okay.
Because I mean, if he was paid to cause the accident, like he could die.
Yeah, he did die.
Yeah.
Then why get paid off? Because you're gonna die. You have a high possibility of dying, and he did.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that is weird. So then another one is Princess Diana was pregnant with Mohammed Dadi Faye's child, and the royal family did not approve.
Of course they wouldn't, because she wasn't divorced from the prince, who was, I think he was cheating on her.
Probably.
He was cheating
I'm
on her,
assuming.
and that's like why they drifted apart, but they weren't officially divorced.
Ironic. They were rumored to go public with their relationship the day after the crash, which is
That's-
insane. And then Prince Philip, King Charles, Diana's sister, Lady Sarah, and numerous others were all involved in the plot to kill the princess and her son. Another one is there's no footage of the crash happening, like on any video, leading people to believe that it was orchestrated. It definitely
No
sounds like it happened,
CCTV.
No CCTV.
happened in a tunnel.
It just shut off.
Okay.
And then evidence from the crash shows that there was white paint left on their Mercedes, suggesting that there was another vehicle involved.
Oh.
It was reported that a white Fiat Uno, the fuck is that, left the tunnel after the scene, but the vehicle was never found.
Of course
Okay.
not.
And then there was reports of a bright white flash just before the car entered the tunnel, blinding the driver. Okay.
Okay.
What do you guys think
That
happened?
one's fucking stupid. I think that it was on purpose. Somebody caused the accident on purpose and to make sure that she died.
What do you think? I have my conspiracy on it.
I don't know.
too.
I think that it could go one of two ways. I think that someone probably caused it and made sure that she was dead, because that's not a good look. Like,
Right.
it's not a good look to have any of that happening.
Right.
Especially for the royal family.
For sure.
Or it could go this way too, where people are like, well, she was so snide when, the body was passing or whatever, blah, blah, blah. Like, she didn't seem to care. Well, of course she's not going to give a fuck. The girl was, I wouldn't say hoeing around, because she wasn't, but like she was with another man while she was still married to her son, right?
Yeah.
It was her son. Yeah. So like, of course she's not going to give a fuck.
sure.
Plus also she was a wild card. Like she was a fan favorite. That's not really what the royal family is about. They don't give a fuck about being a fan favorite because they just automatically have to be your favorite type of thing. So I don't know. It could have gone one or the other. Like, I think it could have just been natural and something. The guy was drunk and like he fucked up.
I don't think he was drunk.
Okay, so I guess I have 3. I think the other one is that Princess Diana found out about child predator sex trafficking for children, some that she did not like, and because she wasn't going along with it, they had her off.
What if she just knew so much and they were
Probably.
worried about her saying something?
Oh, probably because
Not that
again,
she found out, but she knew because she was living in the family. For
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, definitely.
At this time, like she was obviously distancing herself from the royal family. Like
Yeah.
obviously she wasn't in the relationship with the prince anymore. She was doing her own thing.
Yeah.
So like 1, it's not a good look.
Yeah.
2, like I don't know, maybe she was pregnant with the baby. Maybe like news was going to, you know, hit that she was dating somebody else and she was pregnant, which all isn't good, you know?
Yeah.
I just don't think that the royal family they didn't fuck with her at this point.
No.
Like they were not fucking with her. But I watched a video of a medium and she said Princess Diana laughs at this day at the fact that people think it's the paparazzi.
Oh.
She said, happened was, I was like, it was interesting that they brought up this like white Fiat because
What the Fiat?
somebody, the driver wasn't intoxicated. Somebody like shot him or like shot him with something that like
Like a bow and arrow?
Not like a bow and arrow. It was like something that we don't know of. Some type of weapon that we don't know of that killed him before the car accident. Like he was dead before.
Sniper.
Like a sniper type of thing to make sure she was dead. And they ended up crashing like that.
Shit.
In her last days, Princess Diana was very wary. She felt like people were watching her. She was like watching her steps to make sure that she thought something was going to
Oh
happen
yeah,
already.
because you have to remember, like when you're in that, 'cause she was married to that person for how long?
I don't know. A long time though.
Probably a long time. She's heard things. The walls are probably thin. She probably accidentally heard some shit she wasn't supposed
100%.
to, or maybe some pillow
Or maybe
talk.
they just also told her because they didn't think that they would ever get
Exactly.
divorced.
Yeah, no, totally. And she probably was not. She was like, oh, fuck, why'd you tell me that? Now I got the ick. I want to go.
Right.
And then they were like, oh, that's a liability.
Yeah,
And what
she
do you
was
do with
liability.
liabilities?
Yeah.
You get rid of them.
Yeah,
It's because
absolutely.
it's definitely because she knew something,
And she was moving on.
and because they're shapeshifters probably.
Oh God, yeah, crazy. And
That's a
I just
fact.
want to say, princesses do not have great lives at all.
Damn.
At all.
You know firsthand.
I know firsthand from the 1400s when I was a princess locked up. Like, they're not respected at all, and they're just there for a certain purpose. And
Yeah.
if you're not serving that purpose, then like,
It's there to be pretty and make babies
Does
and
it-
keep the royal bloodline going.
It doesn't even matter if you kiss a frog. The other family besides the royals, it's the
Rothschilds. yeah.
Rothschild. Like
Oh.
their freaking whatever embassy is ending.
Is
legacy. Yeah, there's like barely any of them left, and they're like worse than the royal family.
I had a friend
they?
who had dinner with one of the Rothschilds. He told her that the day before 9/11, everyone of importance was texted. Do not go to the Twin Towers.
Yeah.
Oh,
Something's gonna happen tomorrow.
Yeah.
So like Michael Jackson was supposed to have like
just
a meeting that day. And he wasn't
willingly
there.
gave that information.
I don't know.
Was he
what,
drunk?
I don't even know
Yeah.
what she was doing at this dinner with this guy.
Oh, hell. He had too many glasses of wine. He let the secret
But she's
spill.
like super successful now. Like her business took off out of nowhere.
Oh, maybe because he was like, oh, fuck, I fucked up with those 2 glasses of wine. He was a little pussy and couldn't handle it. And
But
then
you think the Rothschilds are dud?
Well, yeah, because like there's barely anybody left in their generation, like left.
oh, you're saying like the oldest man,
Yeah,
like
but
they
the
don't have
oldest
any
men are, like
kids.
they're dying.
Oh,
And the ones
Shit.
that I see online, they're like old and nasty.
Yeah.
Weird looking.
Yeah. So, yeah. And then something I hate about the queen though, that her and I share, is a birthday.
Oh, do you? I feel you because I share a birthday with my mother's abuser. So
yeah, you do.
yeah. So
they did bring
we
that
both
up.
got.
That's like
Damn.
yeah, she just
episode
slid that
3.
in there. It was like,
Oh,
oh
thanks
yeah,
for that information.
yeah,
Didn't
I
need
was
to
like,
know that.
Damn,
Okay.
do you want to change my birthday now, mother? Like the fuck?
right?
All right. Well, yeah, that's the conspiracy. Write us in. What do you think happened to Princess Diana?
And like, what are your thoughts on Princess Diana? Because like to this day, she's still so popular, and
she was
people
a
still
nice
love
woman,
her.
right?
People loved her, you know.
She was just a kind.
do you guys
human
like
being.
Meghan?
Meghan Markle. I think she was in the same situation.
I like
think
Meghan.
that Princess Diana's son was like, shit, they're gonna do the same thing that they did to my mom.
Yeah.
Like I need to get her out of
Dude,
here.
Harry, yeah, he took her and he's bounced. I'm like, good for you, Harry.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Yep.
Because he sees some shit and he actually was the black sheep of the family and said, fuck
He
this.
was, yes.
And he left and he like actually supported, you know, his wife and their kids And it was so refreshing to see Harry do that.
In the medium, you want to know something crazy she said? Their first son is Princess Diana.
Archie, holy fucking shit. I wonder
Princess Diana.
I wonder if they know that.
Shit. Oh,
She
what the
reincarnated
fuck?
into their child.
Yeah.
Yeah, Harry was like, oh, he misses his mom, you can tell.
Oh, I bet.
Oh my goodness. Like,
Because
could
if
you
she was such a
imagine-
good woman, like
Yeah.
that,
Could you imagine just being in that family?
And
Oh,
then the brother, his brother, right? His brother's a piece of shit.
he is, isn't
God
he? Yes,
damn.
the one that's married to the one that
Yes.
looks like she has a stick up her ass.
Yes,
24/7.
her.
Yes.
Her.
what's her name? Like Sarah or something?
No.
I don't know, some basic bitch name.
It's not Sarah. It's so
Elizabeth.
there's-
I think it's a basic bitch name. And I was surprised that he was even allowed to date Meghan Markle,
know,
to
I
be
was
honest,
surprised they
because
married
she's
her and
black.
she's black.
right? But
Yeah.
there was a whole thing on that. But it's Kate Middleton.
Kate Middleton. Told
yep,
you, basic bitch.
Basic.
So no, Kate is oh my God, she's fake as fuck. Cannot with her. But
I feel
Meghan
like you
is
have to be
dope.
fake.
I mean, ew. They met in college.
Oh, did they?
And she absolutely knew who he was. And it was like, I couldn't even imagine. Like,
There's like a photo when they were getting married of her when she first visited the palace, and she's outside as like a commoner. 10 years later, ended up getting married into the palace.
weird.
What
Now
the
she's like
fuck?
royalty.
Well, is she still royalty?
They're like the Dutch and Duchess of.
Oh, they still are.
Yeah, she's royalty.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I think she has a show on
Princess
Netflix
Diana,
now
that's
too.
royalty.
Oh, Meghan Markle. Oh, are we
were
talking about-
Oh.
We're talking
okay.
about Kate.
Okay. Yeah. Kate is still.
But no,
royalty.
they're not royalty anymore.
No.
Neither is Harry.
Yeah. They
He's
cut them
not.
off.
They cut him off. So how is he making money?
When they
He has
say
more-
he's cut off, like
He
still
already
well
has
off.
$1 billion in the bank.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So he's good.
Oh my God, yeah.
Financially wise.
Whatever.
Okay.
And then I remember like when that whole thing was happening,
Yeah.
like Tyler Perry ended up housing Meghan and Harry because they had to disappear.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Wow, that's nuts. But I cannot believe Harry actually turned. I'm surprised because it's a royal family.
That's love.
I mean,
Yeah, that
Fuck
is.
that shit.
That's what I thought I had.
no, sometimes love
For real.
doesn't last.
But maybe Harry isn't.
Yeah.
Anyhow, so okay, that's gonna wrap up this week's podcast. Yay, I'm tired. Next week though, Emelia, I'm gonna have you pick the conspiracy, okay?
Ooh,
So
fun.
it's either gonna be Amelia Earhart or Area 51.
Ooh, which one should we do?
Area 51.
Yes, I was
Okay,
gonna
okay.
pick Area 51.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do it. Let's do
Yeah.
it.
Because what
All
are we
right,
going to
cool.
talk about with Amelia Earhart? She drove a plane.
No, actually, there's a lot to
No,
that.
you never heard the crab conspiracy?
Dude,
no.
Or how she died or what happened? Where did she go?
No.
Insane.
It's deep.
And
Okay.
very much connected to Amelia Earhart.
Really?
Your name's Amelia.
Yeah.
It's Emelia.
and hers A.
Oh.
Yeah, so I'm Emelia. She's
Emelia.
Amelia.
A.
Sweet.
Amelia.
Okay, so yeah, hit us up on Instagram, ResilientAF3. Tell us what you think about Princess Diana, what happened to her. Make sure to tune in next week to hear about Area 51, because who doesn't want to hear about Area 51? There's definitely gonna be stuff that you haven't heard about. I was like obsessed with it I still am, but I
Yeah.
know freaking so much about Area 51, and I can't wait to talk about it next week. You can also follow us individually. I'm at Thadreas,
I'm at Emelia Jackson 94.
I am at Bennett Knows.
and next week, Bennett has on the roster that we're going to start doing Ask Alex. I know we talked about this before. We never did.
Yes.
But if you have anything that you want to ask me, then hit me up on Instagram or at our Gmail. Amelia, what's the Gmail?
ResilientAF3 at gmail.com.
Or Ask Alex is like whatever you want to ask me about anything. I will answer it most likely. It could be about anything. You can ask me to draw a card for you. You can ask me about not my last relationship, because I'm not going to talk about that. But we're going to do that. And
Oh, who's our special guest next week?
Our special guest is Luna.
hey, so what's up with Luna?
She is missing part of her brain.
Wait, what?
And she is
How?
a bikini barista. She's just a bad bitch all
I
around.
have to
wanna
find
know
out
right
next
now.
week. No.
Do you know?
have
I
to
gotta.
wait.
Yeah, next week she will
Okay,
tell
Luna.
you. Yeah, she's a bad bitch. She really is.
So Luna, she's a bikini barista. She was adopted, and she's missing half her head.
Yeah.
So
Whoa.
we will hear her resilient story next week. Make sure you tune in.
Sounds like quite the story. Like,
she's missing.
it's a lot.
I feel like I'm being insensitive saying that.
No,
that's
like
what it
she's
said on the-
yeah,
Yeah, that's
no,
what it-
she's like literally. I mean, she's good now. She's got part of it.
Yeah.
You'll hear
Yeah,
about
yeah,
it
yeah.
from Luna.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
All right.
it's definitely a story that you're not going to want to miss.
Yeah.
So clearly, because I want to know about it right now. I don't even know anything about it. So yeah, next Monday at 8 a.m. of course. So have a good week, y'all.
Peace out.
Yep. Bye.